Welcome to All Things Whitetail. Today we're back at the property. We're in a buckwheat plot that we planted in May. This is an experiment that we're trying this year. This is an area that was reclaimed by the DNR approximately 15 to 20 years ago. Below the topsoil is a lot of heavy rock that they put down as part of the reclamation project. As a result, when you try to run a disc through this, it's very difficult and very hard on the equipment. So I've not done much with this as far as trying to plant forage for the wildlife. So what we did this year, working with Jim Ward, with Jim Ward's Whitetail Academy, Jim had an idea that we could just use some buckwheat. Very little money invested in this, very little time. We basically sprayed this with glyphosate the same day that we broadcast the buckwheat, and this is what we've got. We've actually got some pretty good, very tall buckwheat, probably the tallest that I've ever seen throughout the plot. It's a little sparse, it's not as thick as we would like it to be, but again, we've not added any fertilizer, no lime to it. I don't even have a soil test on this particular area. So, and I know that's a no-no for a lot of you diehards on there, and believe me, I do that on our main plots. But we just wanted to try this and see what we would get, and this is what we got. We've got some good growth here. The deer are hitting it. It's starting to head out, but we're going to go ahead. I've got there's some seeds right here, so it's doing pretty well. This will reseed. Buckwheat is a nitrogen fixer for the soil, and we're going to mow this today, and then we're going to broadcast soybeans. And I've got some regular Roundup Ready farming beans. They're not a forage bean. It's not a forage type bean, but we'll go ahead and cut this. We'll leave about a foot growth. We won't cut it all the way down to the ground, but we'll leave about a foot, and then we'll broadcast soybeans and see what we get from it. The idea behind this is this area is kind of a fringe to our property. It's along the fringes of it, so that early on in the season I'm not putting a lot of pressure in the center of the property and near where the deer are bedding, which is part of the strategy. They'll be moving through here like they always do. This is a nice little funnel here. I have a stand down this way where hopefully I get a decent deer to walk by and I get a good shot early in the season. If that doesn't work, then later on we'll go deeper into the property. The idea of the beans will not be pod producing. There's not enough time for them to produce pods. So the idea is once we have that first good frost, it should kill the beans, and then I don't have to worry about deer being in here foraging when I do come in, because this is one of my main travel routes to get to the stands, and I don't have to worry about bumping deer out of here early in the morning or in the evening when I'm coming to and from our stand. So stick with us, check the blog and the website regularly for updates on how this experiment goes on allthingswhitetail.com, and I appreciate your time. We're back. We finished the mowing of the buckwheat, and so now we're ready to apply our soybeans. I've got an Earthway even spread seeder here that does the trick, and then we're planting what's called purple ribbon seeds from Park Seeds Incorporated here in Marshall, Indiana. They're north of us just about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and apply all of these. It'll probably be a heavy amount to apply to this small section, but given the circumstances we have with our soil, we want to make sure we get a good germination rate and get good sprouting, and we want plenty of nice succulent beans for the deer to hit on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So Luke will keep the tape rolling, and I'll start spreading.